What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. So I'm going to talk about Deontay Wilder and why he says he lost the Fury versus Wilder Part 2 fight. He's saying it's because of his costume was 45 pounds. It wasn't 45 pounds. It wasn't even close to 45 pounds. You could tell by how he was walking to the ring and in the back before he had the costume on. If you guys see the video of that, he was jumping around, he was bouncing around. You can't do that with a 45-pound costume on. You can't move that way like he was in the back before he walked out. And when he was walking out, you could see a lot of the pieces were actually thin plastic. They weren't actually that heavy. And then when he takes the costume off, you could tell how he took it off, that it was actually rather light, because he kind of, with a 45-pound costume, you're not as careless with it, right? So you could tell a lot of it was like fabric, you could tell a lot of it was like plastic. Dante's just trying to make excuses because when somebody is undefeated for such a long time and then they're champion and then they're the best, a lot of times when they lose, they can't stand the idea of them actually losing. So they'll come up with excuses to say, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't lose. My costume was too heavy. If I didn't have a heavy costume, I could have actually won. But that's actually not true. The costume was lighter than he says. He's just trying to excuse the fact that he lost. A lot of it, what it was uh, Fury got uh, a lot heavier for this second match, for the part 2 match, than he was in the part 1, with the intention of putting his weight on Wilder. If you guys noticed, if you guys watched the matchup, a lot of times when they were tying up and stuff like that, Fury was putting his weight on him. He'd put him in headlocks, he'd put his weight on him, he'd get him down, he'd put his weight on him, he'd tie him up, he'd put his weight on him, with the intention of taking away his power, because Dante's power comes from his legs. All of his power really comes from his legs. So you take away his legs, you take away his punching power, and that's what really Fury did. Fury took away his legs by him putting his pressure on him like that, and that really took away Dante's punching power. It had nothing to do with the costume. A lot of times, also pre fight, a lot of the guys, what they'll do is the day before or even that day, they'll run through their entrances and stuff like that, sometimes even 2 or 3 times. So the chances are that wasn't the first time that Dante put on that costume. He probably, most likely, definitely did that walkout at least 3 or 4 times before that night. So he knew the weight of the costume. He knew it wasn't that heavy. He's just trying to make excuses as to why he lost the match. And when you'll even watch in part 3, what he's going to do is he's going to stay away from Fury, so Fury can't tie up with him. He's not going to tie up with Fury a lot more, because of the simple fact that he's going to want to stay away from Fury, because Fury's going to come in heavier than him once again, with the intention of putting his weight on him. So Dante's going to not want that, because of course he's going to want to keep his punching power in stock. But it definitely wasn't the costume at all. I just think it's hilarious as he's saying it. Oh, it was 45-pound costume. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't the costume at all. Like I said, if you see like videos and stuff like that of him when he put the costume on, you're jumping around, you're dancing around. You're not going to be able to do that with a 45-pound costume. It wasn't the costume. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and much, and I'll check you next video.